What's going on, guys? Today I wanted to share a very quick lesson that I learned while skateboarding that taught me, a little bit more insight about life, and that is to face your fears and to charge it, and go after whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. So I've always been fascinated with skateboarding ever since I was a kid. I grew up playing the Tony Hawk games, but I never actually learned because I was always scared of falling, and I was always scared, It's not exactly a fun thought to think about, like, getting hurt, but, eventually, as I got older, I decided, all right, it's time to learn, or else I'm never going to learn. And luckily for me, my dad is a professional skateboarder, and my brother has been skateboarding for a couple years, so they were teaching me a couple things, like the basics, and one of the first things you learn when you're skateboarding is how to drop it on a ramp, and, I don't know about you guys, but dropping in on a ramp is kind of scary, or at least it was for me. I mean, if you think about it, like, you're about to go down a ramp, like, if you fall from this height, you're probably going to get hurt, But, after you do it a couple times and you fall a few times, like, you realize, okay, falling's not that bad, you don't really get hurt that bad, And, like, even when you do fall, it's not like you even feel it, like, you might feel it afterwards, but you don't feel it in the moment. And, with dropping in, I'm sure it's the same, I'm still learning, but with dropping in, it's something that you have to fully commit to. You can't like half commit or else you're going to fall. You have to fully like lean into the board and drop into the ramp, And that can be kind of scary at first because it's like, it's not exactly a natural feeling to want to like lean over an edge, But once you do that and like, after you fall a couple times, when you like, after I landed my first drop and I was like, oh my gosh, because that was my goal for the day. I was like, all right, I'm not going to stop skating until I can drop in on a ramp. And, after I did it, I was like, oh my gosh, like it was the most, it was amazing. It was amazing. It was terrifying, amazing, scary, all at the same time. And it was just, the sense of accomplishment I got from it was crazy. But, that's pretty much all skateboarding. It's all scary. Like, you're always going to constantly be progressing and learning new tricks and stuff. And, like, life is pretty much the same way. You have to, you can't be afraid to fail. You can't be afraid to fall, And even if you do fail or even if you do fall, like, you only fail if you quit. That's the main takeaway. Like, if you quit, then you're done. But if you fall and you get back up, like, that's fine. And, whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, you have to just go all in on it. You have to, like, charge it, and just really commit to it. And, it's kind of, my dad always told me when I was growing up, like, skateboarding really is like life, you can learn so much about life just by skating. I was like, I never understood what he was talking about, but now that I've been studying, like, self-help and success and things like that, like, Dad was right. He's putting me on that game, so I guess the main takeaway of this video is, like, do something that's uncomfortable, do something that scares you, do something that's hard for you, you know what I mean? Like, I find the reason most people are so bored with life is because they don't do anything that challenges them. And, I didn't necessarily feel like going back and skateboarding today or the next day, but I did it anyways, because I'm trying to build that habit. And, success, a lot of people think success is some sort of, like, luck thing or some sort of, I don't know what people think success is, but success is doing what you don't want to do. Success is working towards a goal even when you don't want to do it, It's the same with working out. It's the same with running a business, you have to get used to just doing things when you don't feel like doing it and then doing them the best that you can. And that's pretty much, like, if you do that and you continually improve, like, there's no way you can't succeed. There's no way you can't accomplish what it is you're trying to accomplish. And people try to overcomplicate it, or they try to come up with all these weird, like, ways to work around the hard work, but that's the only way to do it. You have to put in the time, you have to do what's uncomfortable, and what comes after that is success, and you'll feel a lot better after you do what's challenging to you. Another thing with skateboarding too is just the trial and error aspect of it. Like, your first try is probably the scariest because you're not sure how it's going to feel, and after you try and you fail a couple times, like, you eventually get used to, well, when I say fail, I don't mean like it's over. I'm just meaning in the sense that, it didn't work out that time. But you eventually get comfortable with trial and error. It's not as big of a deal to drop in the second time as it is the first time, because you're sort of knowing what to expect. And it's just trial and error. You have to constantly practice over and over again until you eventually get it, And it's the same with life. A lot of people think you have to have a plan right out of the gate to be successful, but you don't have to. You just have to have a goal, and you just have to try different things. And eventually, like, you'll start coming up with better ideas that can lead you towards success. That's just how it is. So many people try to skip the initial part, the uncomfortable part of just trying and like not getting it, but just never giving up on that goal. And then, eventually, if you persist long enough, you'll eventually come up with better ideas. You'll eventually, find a way to accomplish what it is that you're trying to accomplish. And the beginning is where so many people quit or give up because it's hard initially. It's not comfortable, and so many people, like, they might try it. Well, for most people, they don't even try, first of all, but the people that do try, they'll try it out for a little bit, and then, they'll be like, oh man, this is hard, this isn't for me, and they haven't even, like, committed to it for a day or 2 days or 3 days or a week or a month, and they just give up initially. And, I just think it's fascinating that there's so many parallels with life and with skateboarding, and I figured I would share it in a video.